Welcome, everyone, to Todd's World, the wildly opinionated news hour. Carrie is always with me, and today
Hello.
she doesn't disappoint. She's still here.
I'm here after a week off.
Yeah, we
Here.
took a week off. That's okay.
Yep.
We had to. I need to pull
Woo.
my audio settings up and make sure that we're
Okay.
sorry, guys. We have been playing with tech for like an hour and a half, trying to figure out how to get the videos that we share so that you can watch
I
them.
know.
And Zoom is working against us.
It's just a glimpse into behind the scenes, and we've had a lot of coffee, probably not enough of other things. And
Now we're shorting ourselves because we've only got
Yep.
an hour and 15 minutes left, and we have to fit a 5-hour show
Okay.
into an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
How are we going to? Luckily, we're professionals.
Yes, we are.
Oh,
At
hold on.
least
I should put my headphones on. I probably got a horrible echo.
it is a little echoey.
Yeah, see
Well,
that? Sorry, guys.
we
It was my fault. Everything is all discombobulated today.
I don't know if we're professionals, but we play them on this broadcast.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Hello, Todd's
Sorry
World. Hey,
about that. Now it's not so echoey. Everything's better.
you sound good.
There
Do
we
I
go.
sound all right?
You sound great.
Do I sound the volume's all right?
Perfect.
All right.
So we were gone for a week.
Yes.
And while we were gone, not much went on.
I went to the desert and the world went to hell.
I didn't go anywhere. Carrie went somewhere.
It was very dry there, which I didn't tell you.
Was it? And yeah.
Dude.
Too dry?
Like, yeah.
Like walk outside and like a skeleton?
Yeah. Like my heels are smooth normally. By the end of the week, they had shards of crusty skin and cracks. Like on the heels. It was really terrible. Like crusty, like nosebleed, crusty.
It's probably is it something that you think your
Wild.
body and your skin has to like get used to? So in other words, you live out there.
Totally.
Like
I live in
we're used to
humidity.
living in humid places. You live
Yeah.
in Florida, I live in Michigan. Both are kind of humid.
Both humid. I grew up in humidity. I've never lived outside of that's the first time I've ever been out west like that, and it was
I never
so
have
dry.
either.
It was so dry.
They say it's a dry heat, so it doesn't feel so
It
bad,
was
right?
very hot.
It still was hot.
Very hot, but it was fine. But it was so dry. I couldn't drink. I'd wake up in the night and have to reach over to the bedstand for water because I couldn't even swallow.
Oh gosh.
Swallow. It was so dry.
That's bad.
But it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. So pretty.
I don't even have a beard. I'm like so discombobulated. I don't know how we're gonna get a decent show.
Do you
We're
know
all
what?
Charlie now.
I think after Charlie, we all need to go get a beer. What do you think?
No matter what, my show's got to go better than his did last Wednesday, right?
Oh, shit. Isn't that the truth?
So was the first thing, we're talking about Charlie Kirk, everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
There's only one Charlie in the world now, apparently.
I know. There is right now.
You were out west, or you were out in the desert.
I was out doing this beautiful sightseeing thing, and just as I entered this scenic loop through the Red Rock Canyon, I
texted you.
I got word. Yeah.
Well, did you hear it first from me or somebody else?
My mom, you and my mom about the same time texted me that he had been shot and there wasn't further information.
Okay.
And then I heard from her that he didn't make it as I was entering there. So
I didn't text anybody about
tough.
other than the initial shots.
Yeah.
Because I felt like as soon as then there's an intergroup, but I told obviously Nikki, the girls, I told Will, and then I figure after that, everybody, I mean, if they care, they'll pay attention. If they don't, then they won't. But I don't have to give them the play-by-play. You know what I mean?
I wish I hadn't looked at my phone because it definitely, it was a tough day.
It was a
I mean,
kill.
it would have been tough later, I guess, but. Anyway.
I felt like it was going to pop up at some point. So I thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, no,
Although by and large, I thought I did an amazing job of not bothering you while you were on your getaway.
You did. There was a lot going on in the world.
I know, and I barely texted you.
Sorry for the news cycle while I'm on vacation, but.
You know what's funny? Our old buddy Will, who was on the podcast with us back when we were doing audio fiction. We were doing Insurrection and we were doing Witness and all the fun stuff, which I still miss. I wish
I know.
I wish there was a person who could write and do everything else I do and keep up.
I know. We have to clone you, Todd.
And if it was just the writing, that'd be one thing. But the audio, and there's a lot that goes into it.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So anyway, I was talking to Will. He was really torn up about the Charlie thing. Now maybe you were too emotional.
Oh,
Like maybe
yeah.
it emotionally hit you. It didn't.
Mhm.
I'm not the most emotionally like I wasn't that emotional about it.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I didn't think it was sad or it's horrible or any of those things.
Yeah.
Only that and I'll be honest, I thought this in the days that came after, and I listened to people on the radio, and I thought, "My God, have they never lost anyone in their life? Maybe I've lost too many people." I was like, "This
Yeah.
can't be this harrowing for you," but maybe it was.
Yeah.
Um, for
I
me,
felt that.
did you ever see Charlie Kirk in person or no?
No.
Okay, I have
No.
seen him in person.
Oh, you have?
I have seen him in person. Yes,
Gotcha.
I was not what I would call a Charlie fan. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean that I didn't like him.
Mhm.
It only
Okay.
means there's only so much going on in the world,
Yeah.
and he wasn't one of the people that I pay attention to, that I
Okay.
follow, that I do those kinds of things with. He just wasn't. There's not maybe because he's younger, I don't know. Whatever the
And I
reason.
followed him quite a bit. Like,
Okay.
I would say almost in the last 6 months, almost daily, I would see something from him,
Okay. See, I
a
did not, but that
video
doesn't
or
mean I
whatever.
wasn't aware of him. It doesn't mean I
Right.
wasn't
Of
aware of
course.
his impact. It doesn't mean any of that.
Yep.
Only that I didn't actively pay close attention to him. If he popped up
Okay.
on X, I didn't follow him on X. So,
Okay.
but if he popped up, I'd see stuff,
Mhm.
whatever. And again, none of this that has nothing to do with the
Right.
quality of what he was doing.
Sure.
Just we
Just
have
you
different
follow
everybody's got
other
different,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much time in
Different
life.
different focuses and stuff.
And I especially this is going to maybe seem strange to people that I come up with all this news and I'm thinking about it all the time, but I limit my exposure to a certain extent
Okay.
to a lot of things.
Mhm.
Only because I feel like it's hard to have any creativity at all if you're if it's constant noise.
Oh,
So
sure.
I like to have some space and some stillness in life. And in this
That
world
makes
right
sense.
now,
Yeah.
you have to be really intentional. There's a good little buzzword.
Yeah.
To be really intentional about that.
You do. Yeah.
And and then therefore you limit too. Like it's not just Charlie. There's lots of people that I think
Mhm.
seem to be really good, really involved on the right, and people that I would consider on my team,
Mhm.
but that I just don't pay close attention to.
Right.
They got their thing going, and
You don't have a steady stream of them in your head. And,
I did see
yeah,
him in person. I
that's so cool. Where
Lauren
did you see him?
during COVID, he was at a church in it used to be called Grand Rapids Baptist. I don't know what that church is called anymore. It's some
Okay.
Grand Rapids First of Grand. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
They took Baptist out to fool everyone.
Yeah, they've done that around here as well. They really have.
The Sunday shows are getting craftier. They- but but no, we went and saw, and actually it was funny because we saw Will's mom and dad and sister and brother-in-law. They were coming out of the first service where Charlie spoke. I didn't know that Will's sister went to this church.
Is it part of Cornerstone now?
It's not part of it, but it's like
Okay.
they were all, it's all
Cornerstone,
an
sounds like.
incestuous Baptist stew. But
What do you mean by
not
incestuous?
incestuous. Just they like to
Just
hang out together is my point.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
They don't like other Christians as much. And that's probably not as true of this church as it was of the churches
Mhm.
I grew up with, because we were more on the conservative Baptist side. We
Okay.
really didn't like anybody except ourselves.
Yeah.
So a couple others. But so anyway,
Isolationist, yeah.
we went and saw Lauren, my daughter, who's a singer-songwriter, Lauren Allen. She said, "Charlie Kirk's coming. I want to go see him." So I took her, and Lauren and I went and saw Charlie.
Mhm.
And during COVID, it was during is in that era sometime. I want to say it was
Okay.
2020, I think. Could
Mhm.
have been 2021, I don't know. But all of that was going on.
Okay.
Um and he was good. There wasn't anything
Yeah.
um nothing, whatever. He's
Mhm.
younger. Listen, he's 20 years younger than me. He's reaching a younger crowd
Yeah.
and probably appealing to a younger crowd. So
Mhm.
for me, it was fine, but it just wasn't my particular cup of tea. But Lauren really liked him. She got her picture taken with him. He was
Oh,
nice about that,
nice.
you
That's
know.
cool.
He was
That's really cool.
what's your impressions? You followed him so much.
I followed him,
Uh,
and you know what? I agree with you. He's really, in many ways speaking to a younger crowd. As I listened to you describe, your impressions of him, I thought I think the way that I felt about him, the reason I followed him was because listening to him talk to younger people, like well, first of all, he's just a master of facts and information and,
A master
um,
debater.
a master. I know. I know, that's like the joke on
I've got
South
that
Park, right?
clip.
Master debater.
'Cause I'll be honest, I thought to me that was one of the best. The
It
way
was so
Charlie
funny.
responded to that is the way I want
Yes.
everybody to respond to that kind of thing, so we'll
Yeah,
play
if
that later, but
if
go ahead.
yeah, if you don't know, yeah, we'll talk about it. South Park made a joke about him, and it was great, but he was such a master at it, but also he was respectful, he was very good at, I think not only did he wanna get across the right message to young people, but he wanted to get across the message of, civil debate, civil discourse, and I just think, um no, I think in today's culture, especially online, there's less and less of that every day. I mean,
Right.
we've seen it.
But the way
So
he did it by going to college campuses
yep,
and by engaging
mhm,
with
yeah,
college kids,
right.
um, seemed to be really effective
It
and
was
really
effective.
impactful. It was like
Yeah,
these kids are like somebody, and you know, the thing about him, I've
mhm,
watched a little more
mhm,
since he got shot, but I is he was really good at being respectful and actually
mhm.
engaging with who he was talking to. That's not always
Yeah.
easy in those scenarios.
No,
Like, he's
and
not he didn't use he never used who he was talking to help with the entertainment, like I would have. I would have
right. Oh, yeah.
absolutely done that, but he didn't do that,
No.
and that was and he was that it was impactful the way he did it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely, and so watching him do that and watching him, yeah, engage respectfully, I think was teaching bigger lessons, longer lasting lessons than just his message of, the specific topic that was on the
Yeah.
table at the time. And I think what I really loved about it and the reason I gravitated towards him and continued to watch and listen is because it was so hopeful. And I feel like he was a hopeful figure because he was talking to young people who are still trying to figure out. I mean, some of these kids come up to the mic and they're mad. And you know what?
Yeah.
They've never felt listened to. They've been told they're oppressed, whatever.
Yeah, they've
And
probably never been actually in a situation where they're debating someone on the other side
Mhm.
who's knowledgeable and
Yeah,
articulate and can make, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And will listen to them. That's the other thing. I think
And
that's a
who
big thing.
isn't trying to win the argument and embarrass them.
Right.
It's like, no, he just wanted to say, this is reality. This is the reality.
He
And this
really
is
wanted to change hearts
my
and minds.
beliefs 100%. And so the hopefulness of his life is what I think I loved and enjoyed watching. And yeah, I think that's why it hit me so hard.
Well, I was talking to what I started with is I was talking to
Yeah.
Will, and Will was actually over in Kalamazoo, and he was at a friend of ours, older friend. He was closer to him than I was,
Hmm.
to the whole family, but and has stayed closer with him since. But one of them isn't doing very well. He's I don't know 70 something. He's got
Oh,
leukemia. He's in the
oh,
hospital, so he's down
shoot.
there, and he was talking to one of his daughters. I know all his daughters, and she made the comment that, Todd hasn't mentioned anything about this Charlie Kirk, that she thought that
Oh,
Todd's world, I guess, was oddly quiet about Charlie Kirk. And it is true that I didn't get on. Well, we didn't do a podcast last week. That was
yep,
planned already. So
yep.
that didn't have anything to do with anything.
Hmm.
Um, and she's probably isn't I didn't say much on social media. I posted our clip of Beers with Jesus that kind of reminded me a little bit of Charlie, and that's all what
Yes.
I said, thinking of Charlie, and that's
About
about
the
all I said.
answered prayers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt like that. I felt like we didn't listen. That was recorded before anything ever happened with Charlie.
Right.
I just felt like it fit.
It did.
And we've been going through acts in
Hmm.
Beers with Jesus. That's our other show, guys. So I'll do the promos right now.
Hmm.
You should listen to Beers with Jesus if you don't.
Yeah.
That we drop on Wednesdays. We drop Wildly Opinionated News Hour on Tuesdays.
Hmm.
We're all about news, politics, everything fun, culture, and Wildly
Everything fun.
Opinionated News Hour. Well, nah, you know what I mean. And then we're all
Yeah.
about the Bible stories, and we just explore the stories of the
Yeah.
Bible.
Which
We
we make very, very fun and relevant.
They're all great. We
Yeah.
try not to. because if you listen to the first 6 months of Beers with Jesus, it was very, it was very mixed up. Which, let me tell you, if I have an issue with Charlie Kirk or with all of the prevailing culture right now, it's that. It's that it's a little too mixed up of a stew for me with the politics and the religion. But
Okay.
but we'll get there.
Okay.
But with us, we mixed it up for the first 6 months, and didn't feel like it felt like we needed two shows,
Yep.
and that's what we have now. So we keep them pretty separate. But we've been going through Acts. So we
Mhm.
started with the story of Mark, and we walked through the story of Acts. And a lot of what Acts we've been dealing with is there's been some killing, some martyrs,
Yeah.
the first kind of Christian martyrs. So we've been reading about Stephen, and we've been reading about James getting killed, and Peter getting freed by an angel and escaping it and whatever, right?
Yep.
And so that was actually the first thing when this happened with Charlie, the first thing that hit me was I started thinking about Beers with Jesus and Acts. That's what I started thinking about, because that's
Yeah.
where we've been. I would
Mhm.
study that, whatever. And then I also I said I wasn't real. It wasn't an emotional thing for me. It wasn't real
Mhm.
throaty. If that makes sense. Just wasn't. Wasn't
Yeah.
something that was like a gut level thing for me. But what I felt like as soon as I heard it was it was like for me, like if we're fighting kind of this spiritual war,
Yeah.
like Charlie Kirk was this amazing general on like a totally different front
Yeah.
that I didn't pay much attention to, but I'd hear things and I'd hear whatever. And
Yeah.
quite
You knew
honestly, I
enough.
don't know if
Yeah.
Trump gets elected without Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. It was a huge deal. So from the
Mhm.
political end, it was a big deal. But I didn't pay a ton of attention. But it was like this guy, this kind of a hero general fell. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
Did
exactly
it
what it
make
feels
me
like.
sad?
Yep.
It made me a little sad, but I will say this, I felt like, man, that's how I'm sure that's how I'd wanna go out. Like, from 18 to 31, if you look at what this kid accomplished and you
Yeah.
look at all that he did, both for politics and for the kingdom, and I just thought, "Man, what a way to go." Like, in the saddle, man, you know what I mean? Like, doing
Yeah.
exactly what he was so convinced was so important, and I think he was right.
Yep.
So I was sad. Was I sad? I was sad because I just thought, well, you know, it's sad to see someone of that
It's
stature go down. Now
I
there's
agree.
so much he left. There's so much of an impact, and he
Yeah.
did so much with his time that
It's
that it didn't. It wasn't all. I didn't feel all that bad. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like he was just he lived his life fully, and not a lot of people do. And whether you die at 30 or whether you die at 80,
Mhm.
most people don't live their life fully, and so to see somebody who did, that felt good to me. I don't know. I don't know if good's the right
I
way to put it, but I just
No, I think, Todd, there's something interesting about you, and this is a great example of it, and that is that when I looked at that situation, and as so many, an emotionally charged moment, I'm reactive, most
yeah,
people are, most people are.
clearly.
And side note what's that?
Clearly.
Yeah,
Look at
and
all that's gone on since.
right, and side note, one of the things I felt, and I still feel it, is anger, which
Yeah.
I don't normally feel, but I'm really angry about this. Like, I feel like it's unjust, it's unfair, and, like, I'm really pissed about it. I'm sad too, I'm sad for his family and all that, but I noticed that when you look at something, like when you say, "You these people act like they've never lost anyone before." You seem to have this ability.
I don't know if
Everyone is
that's right,
listening.
but
Todd's not insensitive, no, this is
okay.
gonna
Carrie
explain
Carrie will
Todd's
explain me to the public at
I'm gonna
large.
explain it's why I'm really here. Todd, you have a unique ability, I don't know if I think it just happens naturally. You're kind of you look down on a situation, but you see it in its entirety. You see it from beginning to end, and end being in the future. And I
Yeah.
think in the future, when all of the initial sadness about this loss has settled and we've, lived much longer, and we look back, what you said is exactly what someone's going to say. He
Yeah, he
accomplished so
was
much in this short time. He had a huge impact, and he went out in this really tragic way, but probably in, like, the way that he what better way,
Yeah.
to go out than doing what he believed was important and right, and, he was accomplishing his
He's
mission.
like at battle. It
So
was like he had a sword in hand, you know?
exactly, yes, he was literally, like, fighting it in that moment, and so you see it all, I think, from overhead, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm in the moment, like most people. I'm in the moment. I'm upset. This is horrible. This is tragic and I'm angry and I'm crying and all that. You're looking at like you just are able to rise above it and look down and see everything. All
Yeah.
how it all works together. It's it's what is going to lead us into the next segment on on Charlie,
It's
which
not
might
always good.
it's not always good. No, but I think it explains
But when
how
I
you
look at Charlie's life,
see
that's what I
things.
told Carrie. I said,
Does that make sense to you
yes, it
at all?
does.
Okay.
And because I have lost a lot of people. Now listen, I lost my mom to cancer. I lost my dad to a heart attack. Before that, I lost a brother to some heart issues. I lost cousins when I was 5 years old. I watched Melissa waste
2.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin was before my time.
Before you, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But in 80,
Yep.
Melissa died. And then in 84, my brother Chad died. And then I've had other
Gosh.
people die along the way. So anyway, there's just been a fair amount of loss.
Yep.
So loss isn't something that, if you want to read my book, speaking of,
Yeah. No,
Leaves
it's
That
good.
Blew Away is on Amazon
Yeah.
under Todd Allen, Leaves That Blew Away. You'll also find 9 Mile Point on there, Witness, Insurrection, some great books. Check them out if you haven't. But anyway, there's
Yeah,
been a lot
very
of
good.
loss. And so for me, I'm pretty familiar with that part of it. But I
Mhm.
also, because I've had lost so many people close to me, emotionally things don't hit quite as hard, which enables me to get above it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. You know what was interesting?
Mhm.
This you'll find this interesting. Maybe
Okay.
Will wouldn't want me to tell the whole world this, but I'm going to.
He's not listening. I always wanna say hi to him, like, maybe he's
He doesn't
secretly
listen. No.
listening.
He
We
goes out of
miss
his
you,
way not to
Will.
listen. But um do you
Yeah.
know that he was asked to be on another podcast and he turned them down because he was like, "Oh, no, my podcast days are over."
Oh, no. He
Anyway,
was asked? Okay, you'll have to
anyway.
tell me details
I
later.
don't know if I know all the
Good.
details.
That would be like a knife in the chest if he went and
Yeah,
did
I
another
know.
podcast, so
Maybe just as a guest or something. I'm not entirely sure
whatever.
what the anyway, he told me because I asked him, I didn't bother you while you were gone, but
Mhm.
I did bother Will some with
Okay.
my rantings back and forth
With
via
news and
text.
stuff? Okay.
And so one of the things I'm ranting about
Yeah.
was the investigation slash instantaneous cover up and lies that
Yeah.
seems to befall anything major like this that happens in America for whatever reason.
I just don't get it.
And so I was asking Will because Will was, ex-law enforcement, retired now, but so he has
Mhm.
but you know what he told me? I thought it was interesting. I actually thought it was good. Is he said, I honestly haven't watched much of it. I haven't looked into it much. And he said, this will probably sound kind of weird to you, but he said, I don't want to run across the video of seeing him get shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, that does sound kind of weird because you've seen an awful lot of that in your
Right.
career. And he
Mhm.
said, yeah, but that's part of it. He's like, I feel like I left that part of my life behind, and I
Ah,
don't need to go back to that. I don't wanna go back to the place all that crap takes me. And I
sure.
thought, "That was pretty good. Look at him being all mature." I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, working in law enforcement has gotta have an
Yeah.
impact on you over, like, a whole career of it.
And so
Sure.
he feels like he almost has to detox from it as he's retired, you know?
Sure.
And I think that's kinda interesting. Like, the
Yeah.
violence and stuff that it
Mhm.
would be that bothersome. And I will say
Wow.
I haven't dug crazy deeply into all of the investigation stuff
Yeah.
other than when
Just
the same thing when I look at things like
mhm.
what you're talking about. What you're talking about is a lot of people get emotionally take kind of a myopic view, and then
Mhm.
I kind of have an ability to widen out because I don't have to struggle with the emotions of it. That's all. It's
Mhm.
really the only difference. People get to the same place. It just takes them a little bit to get there. They have to get through that emotional jolt then.
Yes.
But I but I always look at things as stories. So for me, I
Okay.
don't even this can bother people a little bit sometimes, but I don't try to look for this fact or that fact because I think, well, they're probably lying to us. So what I try to
Mm,
figure out is is the overall narrative, does this make sense? You know what I
right.
mean?
Mhm.
Or does it not? What are these characters? What are the motivations? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so that's kinda how I did look at it from there on. I will say that Charlie's impact I thought was pretty amazing.
Mhm.
Um, I
Yeah.
actually have felt like the overreact we live in reactionary times, you said that, or
Yeah.
maybe you just said you were anyway, use the word reactionary.
But everyone reacts. It's yeah.
And I thought
It's
what
what
I've been
most people do.
thinking this last week as I've been thinking about this show, because I knew first of all, I was really happy we didn't have a show right away.
Yeah.
I should remind everyone this is Todd's World, because if I get into saying some things, Carrie is here and accompanies me every week, but certainly I direct the ship a little bit, and sometimes I may say things that Carrie doesn't necessarily agree with. Usually she'll tell you, which is
Yep.
great. But so the views of don't necessarily represent Carrie's. But anyway,
Oh, yeah,
I thought
really.
it was
The
good.
views here don't necessarily reflect my views, that's true. It's okay, yeah, I usually say something.
But she has a ample opportunity to say whatever she wants, whenever she wants, and
Yeah,
bring up whatever she wants, right?
100%.
In whatever way, dropping
I
whatever
mean,
bombs
I
you need
might
to
be
drop
mocked
along
for
the
it,
way.
but
I put no limits on anyone here. In fact, the only
Nope,
limits that have been in put on Todd's World lately have been from Carrie. One of them is I'm not allowed to say Pope Frodo, and that's from my Aunt Nancy, who is
that's
an
right.
avid listener to the show.
That's right.
She's a Catholic, and I say, "Okay."
W
So, no more
we
we're gonna have to say Pope Leo from now on,
Pope Leo.
and that's
I mean,
okay.
it's
We'll
okay.
remind people of his stature, like, when we talk about, like, how many popes we could fit in a car. Just kidding.
We just wanna be respectful of Pope Leo.
But I was
Anyway.
glad we had that week off, because for
Yeah,
me, I like to get a little distance on these major things. One of the things
right.
that bugged me was watching
Mhm.
everybody feel like they had to, gush with commentary instantly about all this.
Yeah.
I just don't that just doesn't seem
I just
like
think that's
real life to
I
me.
just think it isn't, it's social media life. It's
That's
just
what I
social
thought while I was
it's
watching things. I thought,
it's public eye life, and it used to just be, like, athletes and famous people and
yeah,
whatever, but now it's everyone because we all have the phone and social media, and we can just put out
that's
there
what I
all of
thought. I
our
thought
thoughts instantly.
there was a lot of things that went on in reaction to Charlie's death that
Mhm,
were I didn't think they were good. I don't think a lot of it.
mhm.
But at the same time, I kept finding myself wondering, is this just what this kind of thing looks like in the age of social media? You know what I mean?
I will
That's what I
say
wondered.
yes. There might be some outliers out there who are like, "Oh, this is an opportunity to look good by saying something," but I don't think that's the majority. I think people really believe that they need to express themselves
Yeah.
online. They just need to. I mean, do you remember when social media was really exploding? People were taking pictures and posting their food
They
everywhere?
still do, don't they?
Some,
Every
if it's
time
a
we go out to eat, Nikki takes a picture of her food, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
if the food is especially beautiful, yes, but, like, it used to be everywhere.
I
It
know.
used to be like my news feed looked like a cooking like a cookbook. It was really funny. Just I just think people just feel like they've gotta express themselves. They've got there's a forum for it that where you have permission to
Which is
gush or be
true.
emotional. Yeah.
What that's done is it's pulled away any of that kind of when someone dies. Now I understand this is different. Most of
Yeah.
us, the vast majority of us, never knew Charlie Kirk personally.
Right.
Some of the people who did and who were responding, a lot of them did
Mhm.
in the media and things, but
Yeah.
most of us didn't. So there's a normal time when somebody dies. Usually, you kind of step back and you try to get through the shock. But anyway, you try to process. People come together, but you know what I mean, because the first thing everybody does, and this is the first reaction everybody has, is it doesn't matter who died. Suddenly they're a saint. Now listen, I'm not saying Charlie wasn't a saint to begin with. I'm
Sure.
only saying everybody's a saint. And so if you
Yeah.
take that particular thing and then you apply it to this situation,
Mhm.
suddenly Charlie Kirk is Jesus. And I have just been like, what? I see people say, what would Charlie do? And I think, I don't know. I don't know if it matters.
Right. Right.
But
I mean, okay.
so
So
that was amplified. That bugged me. It bugged me that that was
everything's
amplified.
amplified.
But then I thought, is that just the age we live in?
It is, and I don't think that people are trying to say that he's Jesus.
I'm like, when do I order my Charlie Kirk lawn statue? When are the parades where we're throwing beads? I don't know. Do we
I
even
don't
need Mary anymore?
I think people I think people are just I think people are just want to express what a good man he was. And
You know,
obviously it wasn't everyone,
no, I know.
but the people who loved
That's the
him.
other thing is it's not just on see, I'm looking
Yeah.
at people on my side, but
Yeah.
when you look at people on the other side, the reactionary, it's that
What
same
was that?
reactionariness that's just it's crazy. What are you
What
talking
was
about?
that?
Like, there was a time in this country when if somebody died, you wouldn't instantly be like, "Oh god, thank god he was a racist. I'm glad he's dead." Like,
I
who
know.
says these kinds of things?
It's it's unfathomable.
I just
It really is. Okay, Todd, how do you feel about the fact that this incident with the inappropriate responses is actually resulting in some actions, like people are getting fired, for example?
I like that.
Okay, good, because
Well,
I do too, because I
I
just
like
think
it because
it's just
it's the
awful.
world they made. That's
Mhm,
my thing. I
mhm,
don't like this particular world. I don't
mhm,
think and listen, I
right,
don't think that Jimmy Kimmel got fired because of what he said. Jimmy Kimmel got fired because all over the fruited plains, media groups have been wanting to get rid of Kimmel forever because they can't sell ads because his ratings are in the tank, and ABC is stuck with him, and I don't know everything about the way television works, but in certain
right,
markets, you have these conglomerates, and they make you take these shows, and they make you sell the ads and do the things, and you know what I mean?
okay,
And so I don't think it
yeah,
had anything to do that was an excuse. That was a
okay,
convenient excuse.
yeah.
Kimmel said a lot
It's
worse things than that.
I was gonna say, I'm
Just
like, it was a stupid thing to say, but it wasn't like he was
right.
celebrating, the event, so,
But this is the world they made.
yeah,
I would like to say that. Let's all remember COVID. Let's all remember when they wanted to fire you because you wouldn't get an experimental jab that
mhm,
could give you a heart attack or turbo cancer or God knows what.
yeah,
So this is the world they made, and it doesn't bother me to see them living in it or dying in
mhm,
it. However, not physically dying. That's not
yeah,
what I mean, but you know what I
right,
mean? Getting
yep,
canceled or whatever. Because
getting taken down a peg.
you have all these people like, "Oh my god, I got a clip of Jason Bateman talking about free speech, free speech."
Oh,
Listen,
boy.
Kimmel can say whatever he wants.
Yep,
He can go to a college campus
yep,
just like Charlie Kirk,
mhm,
set up a tent, get a microphone, and try to draw a crowd and say whatever he wants.
yep.
Jimmy Kimmel didn't get canceled. Charlie Kirk got canceled. He got shot in the neck for trying to do that. Jimmy Kimmel lost his show. You don't have the right to say whatever you want and get paid $60 million a year and be on a national network to do it. That's not the freedom of speech.
Right.
So
Yeah, I was gonna say there really is there's a blurred line between broadcasting on a show and free speech, not on
what Charlie was
ABC.
doing was actual freedom of speech, and
Yes.
because you know what he did? He
Mm,
had a mic, and he had another mic, and he didn't interrupt people. You
nope.
could come up, you could be a furry, you could be any of these things, and you could be
I
talking to
know.
Charlie, and
You
Charlie would
could.
treat you like another human being. He would give you the respect to not interrupt you. He'd let
Mhm,
you talk into that mic. He'd be courteous replying to you. He'd tell you the truth. You know
mhm.
what greater respect can you have for someone than to tell them the truth?
Right.
And that's what Charlie did, and he didn't do it trying to be inflammatory, be an
No.
asshole. People are saying, "Oh, well, he said these vile things," and I think, I just never heard him.
No.
I didn't.
He stood on truth so firmly. I saw him with, I saw a guy come up to the mic wearing a satanic mask, a robe. It's so disturbing, and, like, chanting this satanic whatever.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how do you get a rise out of someone like Charlie? And Charlie Kirk just, like, prayed for him.
I did like there was a lot I liked about Charlie Kirk. In
Yeah.
hindsight, if you know something's gonna happen, you wish you'd pay more attention,
Mhm.
um, but
There's a
he
lot of video out there. You'll be able to see a
yeah,
lot
he's a
of
good
them for a
guy.
while.
He did a lot he
Mhm.
did a I will say that the reactionary, suddenly everything Charlie Kirk ever touched is turning to gold thing
Right.
that seems to be sweeping. To
Yeah.
me, that minimizes the actual person and the actual work and amazing things that Charlie did because it's being artificially turned into a Macy's Day balloon. And I
Okay.
think if you just let a person be who they were,
Mhm.
he did so much. He does not need your help. He
Okay.
just doesn't. he's like, but listen, I know that's real hard for people.
Is
And
it kinda like do you feel like it's commercializing his
I'll tell you what,
death
I
or
told Carrie I wanted to start with how we felt about Charlie,
yeah,
because to
which we
me,
did.
the
Yeah,
most important thing about Charlie was the life he lived
yeah,
and the lives he touched with the life that he
100%.
lived. And so we can look at that, and that's something that exists. That's
Mhm,
Charlie was a life that was lived, that made an eternal impact, that made an impact on the country, that made an
yeah,
impact on lots of people, and his death is gonna continue that impact down the
yeah,
road. So I wanted to start there because that's the most important thing. The truth is that Charlie Kirk was a pretty amazing guy who
mhm,
did a lot of amazing things for the kingdom and the country, and
mhm,
that needs to be said and to be acknowledged
mhm.
and to be remembered. That's really what he needs to be remembered by. He
Right.
doesn't this is the same thing that bugs me so much during Beers with Jesus so much. Like I
Yes.
say, God doesn't need to be defended by you. Charlie's memory doesn't need to be defended by you. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I
I think
just
it's just how people are grieving,
I
but
know.
it just
I know.
kinda goes it just gets inflated, I
But
guess.
be but see, the other thing is these are all normal, like, instincts that people would have,
Mhm.
but when you put them in this social media digital age, everything just gets ramped up,
Yeah.
and then even that gets ramped up and ramped
Mhm.
up, and people are like, "You did this, I'll do this.
Right.
Oh my god, his eye boogers tasted like chicken." It's amazing all the I just am like, "Whoa, he doesn't need all this. He's a good guy."
Yeah.
Is he irreplaceable? Yeah, we're all irreplaceable. But see, to me, I don't wanna put Charlie up on too much of a pedestal because I want
Mhm.
all the kids who listen to him to think, "You
Mhm.
know what? I could do that someday, because they
Yes.
could."
Yeah.
I understand, no, not everybody's Charlie was brilliant. Not
Yes,
everybody's
he
gonna
was
be as
brilliant
brilliant,
and
as
had
articulate,
many
obvious,
gifts. Yeah.
as Charlie was.
But no, that's well said, Todd. It's well said. You don't wanna elevate him so much that people think, like, there will like, it's done, like, this era is done. It's like, "No, it's not done."
This
He
was a
started
life
something Yep,
well lived, and you can
100%.
live yours well. That was his message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't need any more than that. Charlie's corpse isn't a weapon for the right to pick up. That has bugged me too.
Yeah,
I don't know how far that's gonna go, and I don't know,
right.
maybe that'll die down as we get a
I
little ways
hope
away from
I
it,
hope so.
but that's what I felt like. I felt like, my god, do these people? This is who am I talking about? I'm not talking about anybody in particular.
Well, I was gonna
Just
say,
a
give
general
can you give an
impression
example? Yeah,
of
and
right-wing people and right-wing speakers and right-wing talking heads and right-wing leaders out there.
yeah,
I felt like Charlie was a weapon for them alive, and as soon as he was dead, he's a weapon for him dead. And then you get people on the air who are like, "This, we're in a war now. This is a war. We just have to acknowledge the fact that we're in a
yeah.
war." And I
It's like
think,
we've been in a war.
well, first of all, we were in a war before,
Yeah.
but secondly, and this is what bugs me a little, and
Mhm.
this is where I think I parted ways with Charlie. I'm not positive because I don't know exactly. I didn't listen to him enough to know. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So this was just some general impressions I had watching him live, listening to him a
Mhm.
little bit. Is to me, it was mixed up a little bit. Well, first of all, can we take a big difference between me and Charlie? The one thing Charlie loved and was institutions. He built Turning Point USA into an institution, right?
Okay. Alright.
He was into the church as an institution. He liked
He is.
he
Okay.
liked the Sunday show. Charlie Kirk would have been a big fan of the Sunday show. He's a
Mhm.
big fan of mailing list and calling list and get out the voter things. Okay.
Right.
If you listen to Todd's World, you know that all of those things are not me. So we got to start
Yeah.
there. But certainly, if you listen to Beers with Jesus, I don't think, okay, as soon as you attach God to the war, this is what I said last night to somebody. They're like, "What do you mean? It's a spiritual battle that's going on." And I said, "I like to keep things separate because as soon as I take Jesus onto my side, well,
Yeah.
there's no room to talk anymore about any kind of methods, about is this good? Is this, but Jesus said it, let's go." You know what I mean? Like, as soon as we appropriate God and we turn America's cultural battle into a holy war,
Okay, thank you. I'm
we
like, I
don't
need you
even
to
have to
connect the
look at
dot
the other
here.
side as humans anymore, right? They're just destined for the lake of fire. I mean,
Oh, dear.
you understand what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like,
So okay.
and so, but to take the church and the politics and to fuse them like that,
Yeah.
there's a part of that I'm uncomfortable with,
I
really
feel
uncomfortable with.
You know, I understand where you're coming from, and I think that with, Charlie specifically, he was always very firm in his beliefs. He was very upfront saying, "These are my beliefs, and I think that,
Right.
Jesus is here to save everyone."
Mhm.
But he was also yeah, also on the mission for America, for American values, and I think because he would always talk about American values, especially at their origination, they were fused at that time,
Yeah.
Judeo-Christian values and, um, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. I mean, you he would those
I
values
don't
were
have any problem with it being a Christian nation, you know what I
I
mean?
I understand, but I'm just saying because of that, I think that that ended up
Yeah.
well, you can talk about its origination. How is that practically executed today? I can see where maybe that
And I don't have a problem. I think Christians should be involved in the political process. I think if given the choice in electing a township supervisor,
Mhm,
and I got a
mhm,
choice between a good guy who
uh-huh,
seems real qualified for the position and wise, and he's a Christian,
yeah,
versus the same guy who isn't, I'm gonna vote for the guy who's a Christian, all things being equal. Now,
okay,
all things are never equal, but I'm
right,
saying if they were, I
right,
like that idea better. I don't have any problem
okay,
with Christian. I don't have any problem with the culture war. I don't have any problem with engaging the culture war. I
okay,
understand that, but when Jesus said, this is the story about they ask him about taxes. The Pharisees come
mhm,
to him. They say, is it lawful that we pay taxes to Caesar? Now, this is a
mhm,
really politically charged thing that
yes,
they're trying to get him to take a side on. Because if he says yes, he's alienated all the Jews. If
mhm,
he says no, he's in treason to the Roman government. So
okay,
this is a they thought they had, well, they always thought they had him.
yeah,
Pharisees always thought they had
they've
Jesus.
cornered him, right,
And so his answer was, "Give me a coin." They hand him a coin. And he says, "Whose picture's on that coin?" Or whose image? And
mhm,
whose image is on that coin? They said, "Caesar's." And he said, "Give to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and give to God that which is God's." Okay, that's his answer.
mhm,
Perfect. Just
I know.
like he's God. I mean, it's just like right
Right,
down. Like, who could have done that? God.
right,
And that's what he. So, but so I take that,
okay,
and in life in general, I apply that not just as taxes,
mhm,
not just to money, but I think to everything. Give to see. So, in other words, what I don't like is I don't like a philosophy that fuses Caesar and God.
yes,
Now,
yeah,
you can do Caesar's work, meaning you
mhm,
could be a soldier, you could be a
mhm,
general in the army, you could be president of the United States. You could be doing Caesar's work
mhm,
and loving God and doing it to the best of your ability to the glory of God
yes,
and still not fuse them.
right.
When they become fused, I think it's a problem. I think that's when you get the Spanish Inquisition by the Catholic
Okay.
Church.
You know what? I do think, again, with Charlie specifically, I don't think that he was fusing our president
Yeah.
with God, but maybe the concept of the country,
Well,
America.
and this isn't meant to be, these would be minor things that I might have differed with. Well,
Right.
if you took
It's just
the
interesting
faith
to think
end,
about.
I would have differences with Charlie.
Mhm.
Charlie says favorite best teacher we ever had in Bible teacher was John MacArthur. Listen, my dad loved John MacArthur. And I went to school at Bob Jones University, and
Mhm.
Charlie seemed to me like the kinda guy that would be down there, and he would take in all this, and he was brilliant, so he could take it in, and he could argue, and he could do all these things, but
Mhm.
in my opinion, there's a lot that's missing there. It's
Okay.
not just you're not just pulling in info, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Anyway, but I don't wanna make
Yeah.
this about Charlie.
Okay. Yeah.
He did the best he could. I'm more talking about everybody going forward.
Okay.
In other words, to put up this mantle and say, "Well, they shot Charlie now. It's
Okay.
time to start shooting tranny." You know what? That's
Right.
not what they're
Right.
saying, but I'm saying
Yeah.
you could see where it could go there because if it's a battle of good versus evil, and if the other
Mhm.
side is evil, it doesn't matter what you do to them. I
Mhm.
mean, right? They're not fellow American citizens so much as they're evil, and they're out to kill you, and they're out to shoot you.
Mhm.
That's what worries me, and again, that's
Right.
not Charlie. I'm talking about in the aftermath of Charlie's death and what it could
Right.
mean And when I see a lot of these people on the right, what I see them picking up is the memory. We won't say the
Yes.
corpse, that's a little rough, but the memory of Charlie,
Yeah, of his the
picking it
figure.
up as a weapon. And see, to me, okay, if we're fighting Caesar's wars, that's fine, but let's always keep in mind we're doing Caesar's work. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so explain when you said appropriating God.
Well, in other words, when I take Jesus,
Mhm.
okay, let's say I'm Trump.
Okay.
And I'm not saying maybe Trump does this. Maybe this is what Christian nationalism is. I don't know.
Okay,
Figure it
here we
out.
go. Here we go.
But but Trump's out there and Trump
Yeah.
is like, "Listen, we have got to have tariffs." Or don't even take tariffs. Take immigration. Take
Okay.
immigration. Say,
Okay.
"Okay, we got to have closed borders."
Mhm.
And we have to have closed borders because God has commanded us in his word to have closed borders.
There you go.
Well, then it
Okay.
doesn't matter how you get rid of the people. Do you know what I mean? In fact, nobody can even argue with you. You can't.
Because
Why would some senator
because
argue
God's
with you?
because God's the ultimate authority and God's the
Right.
ultimate power. Is that what you're saying? Like
Yes.
it's then
When
okay.
we appropriate God, so this is like a holy war, like the Crusades.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
Okay.
the cross is on our shields.
Okay, gotcha.
Well,
I
then
hear
there's no reasoning with you anymore. You
right.
know what I
Thank you for
mean?
clarifying
Are
that.
you doing
Yes.
God's work? Or are you doing Caesar's? We're doing both. I
Right.
don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I don't like it because well because we can let's say in our daily lives we can know God. We can have a relationship with God. But I don't think you can confidently be like, God wants us to do, this with the
Right.
borders or with the illegals who are here, for example, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. Right. We can't
Well,
we
I
don't
think
know
it's
God's
even
will that way.
dangerous to do an
Mhm.
abortion, and I feel like abortion's awfully black and white, but it still seems to me a little dangerous because here's what you get. What you get is the people back in the '90s who blew up abortion clinics,
Yeah.
because why wouldn't you? They're committing murder. What
Ah,
difference
good
does it make
example.
what difference does it
No,
make if you kill a few patients and you kill a few doctors if you've saved 1,000 babies over the course of 6 months?
because of God's will.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. That's a great example.
There's
Yeah.
no I mean, where there are no guardrails once you stick God on it as a holy war, and that's what they do. They'll look at Israel in the Old Testament, and God will say, "I'm giving 'em your enemy to you," and that's how they think of it. Well, I don't think America works that way. Now, if
Yeah.
someone wants to have that argument, that's fine, but
Mhm.
that's not what we're doing. We're not having the argument about it. We're just drifting into it, which is, let's
Okay.
pick up our mantle and let's go forward and let's defeat the
Right.
trannies. I feel like it's what and I'm not even convinced. Listen, as
Mm.
soon as I heard the one thing I thought, as soon as I heard, "Oh, they got the shooter, it's this 22-year-old trainee," I thought, "The only thing I know is that's not what happened." That
Oh
sounds
my god. I was gonna say
preposterous to me.
the shooter is not trans, correct?
No, his roommate, his girl boyfriend, his roommate slash partner is,
Okay. I had not heard that yet.
and he's also a furry.
The shooter or the
No,
r
his
partner?
partner slash love
Wow.
interest.
Okay.
Supposedly, listen,
Supposedly.
I
We
don't
don't
know
know.
how much I
Yeah,
believe
we don't
about
know.
any of this, and
Okay,
it
so
bothers me to no end that it's people that are on my side of the aisle that are
yeah,
responsible for this Mexican clown car that is the FBI.
right. Are we now getting into
Yes, go ahead.
the fiction portion of
We
the
should I should tell people that. So, what I told Carrie is I wanted to talk about the truth of what Charlie was and what he meant to us,
Mhm.
because I did we spent most of our time there because I feel like that's the most important part.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit on going forward. And now we're into what comes after and what has happened after. And I told Carrie, I just don't believe any of it. So
Yep.
I feel like, and Carrie and I on Todd's
Mm.
World are better suited than almost anyone to approach things from what if this was fiction? Let's talk about the story. Because we did that for 2 years. And so that's how
Yes.
I said, let's talk about the aftermath more as like Game of Thrones. Like, if this was Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
what might this character be doing? 'Cause
Okay.
I don't think we have any idea. That's my only point.
Right. Yeah.
At this point, I'm not saying we never will, I hope we do at
Mhm.
some point, but, like,
Yeah,
right
we
now,
probably won't. Okay.
if we're at war, this is the fog of war. This is the foggiest of the war, and
Mhm.
so people are what was your impression? Did you have any impressions of the general or maybe you were busy, so you were
I
gone.
have not yeah, so I haven't followed. All I've seen is, like, headlines and everything getting mucked up. right away. Conspiracy theories. Oh, look, they're not really putting pressure on his neck as they pull him. I'm like, you know what? I am not going to read any of that. Haven't really seen
Candace
anything.
Owens says that she was able to view this. There's so many weirdnesses here. I
Really?
mean,
Oh,
they're
jeez.
everywhere.
So
First of all,
awful.
I can't remember ever a crime scene that was tore down within an hour or two, and where Turning Point USA grabs all their cameras and all their SD cards, and it's just baffling to me. Or where the victim of an attack is on the vice president's plane the next day. I don't know how you have time for autopsies. I don't know how you have time for any of this. Or
I
this
don't
one,
think they would have needed an autopsy.
you
But you
always have
mean
to do
like
an autopsy. I mean, for anytime you have somebody who's killed, they're going to spend a little time in the morgue and they're going to do an autopsy.
like forensically kinda?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I mean, you can waive the autopsy, although I don't know if you can in a crime situation. I don't think you can. We
Mm,
did for my dad because it was just he had a heart attack and died. And so technically they were supposed to do, but they were like, I mean, we know he had a heart attack, so do
yeah.
you really want to put the body, go everybody through all
Yeah,
this?
right.
And so the answer was that we didn't.
Yeah,
I don't
we
think you can do that in a crime.
right, right, right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Same idea probably that you ran into with Steve. Like you could either
Yeah, I
do
was
it or
gonna say,
not.
yeah, they're like, "Do you wanna do it?"
I
Like,
don't
this
think the
is
cops give you an option.
right. I mean, when the cops were here, they determined there wasn't a crime.
Right.
Then they said, "You can do you
Yeah.
can do an autopsy. This is likely what happened. It's up to you." And we were like, "Yeah, we don't need to."
Did you see I bet you didn't. And I
Mm,
meant to send this to you.
mhm.
This is something maybe we talk about this next week. But
Okay,
did you see the video? This is going to be I can probably only talk to you about this cuz you've experienced this in
okay,
the last 6 months. So can we talk
okay,
about Erica a little bit?
okay.
Did you see the video with Erica and the casket? There was about a
No,
1 or 2 minute video that went out
no.
that she put out. It was on her, or at least she posted it. I mean, it's not like
Okay.
it was in other words, she proved it, right?
Mhm.
And it was the strangest behavior I've ever seen for someone who's just
Really?
lost a loved one. And like I said, I've been exposed to a lot of loss in my days.
Well, and I was gonna say, and I have also learned that people all react differently. Yeah, but go ahead.
Um, so watch it. We'll talk about it next week maybe, but it's his you don't see Charlie's head. He's in the casket, but she's like on the casket, like kissing his hands. His hands don't look real. They look like no dead person's hands I've ever seen in my
I don't
life.
know.
And then they instantly go to shots like you can tell they're professionally videoed of her and Usha, is that her name? The vice president's wife.
Yes,
Usha
I think
Vance
Usha.
walking to the, you know, what is it, Air Force 2 to get the
Okay.
body, and I
I
just
haven't
thought
seen any of this.
I've
Okay.
never seen anything like this in my life. This is the strangest. What does it mean? I don't know what it means. I only know it's weird.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
everything that has happened after
Mhm.
has really felt contrived and scripted to me. And that's the last thing that anything should feel like in this kind of situation.
I know, and how quickly you're describing this stuff as happening very quickly.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't make
odd.
any sense.
Mm-mm.
The stories, I mean, the FBI, listen, I've said from how long have I said the FBI is irredeemable? This is why. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters if we put Superman at the top of the FBI. I don't think we can fix it.
It's so awful. So what's coming out of the FBI right now that is just
Well, this whole shooter thing, it's just preposterous. The
okay.
idea that this kid, this 22-year-old kid,
Mhm.
first of all, the idea that he could pull the shot off would be pretty amazing. Now, Candace Owens, and listen, I know people think Candace is crazy because now Candace Owens is all the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, it seems like. And she
Oh boy.
seems crazy.
Well, Candace and Charlie were very close.
They were, but now see, now you get this, now you get competing narratives. This is going on too. So
Mhm.
Candace has this whole narrative that she's talked with Charlie. She
Okay.
knew that Charlie had lost, and Tucker says this too. So I'm gonna put this out there. Tucker
Okay.
Carlson, Megan Kelly, Candace Owens. Those are
Okay.
the three that I've heard that are on board with this narrative. Okay.
Okay.
And then there's an alternate narrative. So I'll give you that in a second. But this narrative that Candace, Tucker, and I've heard Tucker and Megan talk about it more than I have Candace. I don't
Mhm.
listen. It's not that I'm anti-Candace. She's again not in my regular listening profile. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like Charlie was. I'm not.
Right.
Although I would have, she seems crazier than Charlie
You
ever did.
encounter yeah, you
But you know what I
encounter her
mean?
in passing.
Right. I
Yeah,
encounter her,
online.
and
Sure.
I don't write her off just because she sounds a little crazy.
Mhm.
I don't write her off. I think, who knows in this crazy world.
Right.
So I do not instantly write off Candace. But Tucker said that Charlie had been under increasing pressure from big donors to
Okay.
be pro-Israel and to not have Tucker on the stage at Turning Point USA. They do these different events
Yes.
during the year.
Mhm.
A couple real big ones where people
Yeah.
come and speak and whatever. And
Right,
so
like
and
panels and stuff.
maybe it was America Fest. Anyway, I don't know exactly what it's called.
Okay.
Whatever it was, he had Tucker there. And
Mhm.
he told Tucker, go for it. Say whatever you want, because Tucker's been kind of anti-Israel lately. At
Okay.
least that would be that's what people would accuse him of. And so that Turning Point lost big donors, millions and millions of dollars in donations over Charlie's support of Tucker Carlson. And there's even some video of Charlie questioning Israel some on October 7th, exactly what I talked about, which is Charlie said, was a stand down issue ordered? Because Israel's not that big. And for 8 hours, they had no help at all. How could that
Right.
be?
Right.
You could I said this at the time. You could
Yeah.
transverse the entire country in an hour and a half in a Black Hawk helicopter. What happened to the IDF, the Israeli
Right.
Defense Forces? So Charlie asked that too. Okay, Tucker says that until the day he died,
Mhm.
Charlie was being tormented by these big donors about his support and or lack of support for the Israel narrative.
Okay.
Turning Point USA's board, which
Yeah.
just unanimously put Erica Kirk on as the new CEO, by the way.
Okay.
She seems more than up to the job. Maybe that's normal a week later. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It's all a little weird to me, but
That
I'm willing to let it.
seems weird.
I'm
Okay.
willing to watch things play out. But they, I mean, and I'm talking at least three people on the board have claimed Charlie hadn't talked to Candace Owens in forever. He hadn't. It didn't. None of this was true. Megan Kelly, by the way, would confirm Tucker's story that Megan, Tucker, Candace, they're all lying, and so you have two competing narratives there. Did you see that Benjamin Netanyahu came out the day Charlie died and was almost ghoulish in talking about how much Charlie loved Israel and how Israel didn't have anything to do with this? What are you talking about? It was really weird.
What?
You don't see that kind of thing very often.
No, that's
I
odd.
have the clip. I didn't put the clip up because it's him. It's translated. So in other words, you can read what he's saying across the bottom, but he's speaking in however they
Mhm.
believe Hebrew once sounded. So
Wow. What's the Tucker and Charlie thing that we were testing with the video? Is that relevant to this or
I
no?
think I have. Was that? I forgot where it was. You're right, though. I had it. Let's get to a couple clips quick because we don't have much
Okay.
time. You gotta go, Carrie.
Well, we might be able to pause.
Do you want to You want to take a break and then get back to it,
Well, let's keep going
or
right
keep
now.
going? Here, this I wanted to play with
Yeah.
Charlie because out of all the clips I saw, Charlie,
Mhm.
and there's nothing controversial about this. This I felt like encapsulated Charlie. Do you know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't weird. There's no strangeness. I don't think there was any weirdness to Charlie's life. That's my whole
No.
point.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Charlie was a great guy. Whatever's
I
happening
think he was
afterwards, this
upfront. Yeah.
memory of Charlie, this weaponization of whatever they think Charlie was.
Yeah.
And listen, that's not abnormal. I mean, the Democrats have been doing that with JFK ever since he died. So,
Right.
you know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah. And I'm curious about the board. I'm curious how the board felt about these issues and
Well, the
the
board
donors
claims
and
that I'm looking for that other Tucker thing that you said I had up, which I probably did. We were doing so much tech stuff that
well, and it
I was
wasn't an
annoyed.
no, it wasn't an oh yeah, it wasn't an audio, it was the video that we were trying to share.
Yeah. Oh no, this is Charlie Kirk spoke about young men flocking to Catholicism. So that he was
Okay.
talking to he had a
Yeah.
for being an evangelical. I think maybe Erica is Catholic. I think I saw that. I
I
think
thought,
maybe they go to a Catholic church even though he's an evangelical. I think,
why did I
or
think? Yeah, I feel like he talks about the Catholic Church. I thought that he was, but maybe he's not.
he's not Catholic.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't anyway.
Mhm.
There was some talk that he might have been heading that way. But anyway, I want to just play this one thing by
Okay.
Charlie,
Yeah.
and I just felt like this encapsulated him. It was a good clip.
The spiritual battle is coming to the West, and the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. And the American way of life is very simple. I want to be able to get married, buy a home, have kids, allow them to ride their bike till the sun goes down, send them to a good school, have a low crime neighborhood, not to have my kid be taught the lesbian, gay, transgender garbage in their school, while also not having them have to hear the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. That's important. We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom. Christians, our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. And this is where I think is a great rallying cry. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody, if you are Christian and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, these two threats are combining forces to come after us. And it's time that the church stands and rises up against it.
Yep. So that's Charlie Kirk. Now, in that, you got some of his mixing of things.
Yeah, I hear what I
And
hear.
listen, I understand life is not perfect, not perfectly
Right.
divisible into your columns. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, but still, that was a great clip, and I think parsing it a little, I'm right there with him. I like I
Right.
said, I would just like, this isn't a holy war against Muslims. This is a war for Western civilization. A war for Western civilization is Caesar work.
Right.
That's all I say.
Yeah.
Do it with God's fervor.
Mhm.
Just don't assume that you can put the cross on your shield. That's all I
Got
think.
it. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that makes sense.
So I
You
thought
can be a believer and be fighting that battle without
100%.
yes, without, like you say,
And Charlie was great at that. I actually think
claiming it's God's mission
when I
that
look
you're
at some of
on.
the things that maybe bugged me a little bit about Charlie, most of them would have been things that I always assumed, and he probably was in the process of growing out of. He was a young kid. I mean, I was 20
Yeah.
something when I saw him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I was 20 or 30, yeah, you could have lined me up on all the evangelical orthodox doctrines and I would have regurgitated them just like Charlie did.
Right.
Do I think he would have found more? I do. I think he probably was. I think the same thing on I think he was growing, looking at Israel. Does Israel have too much influence? The nation of Israel have too much influence over the nation of America? Maybe it does. I think he was willing to ask those questions. A lot of people on the right aren't.
Right.
But I think Charlie was one he was growing. And that I think may have been as much of a threat as anything else to whoever took him out. And I don't know who took him out, but I don't think it was that 22-year-old kid.
You don't.
Don't believe it. I don't believe that kid
I
could.
hate that.
I
I
just don't
hate
believe.
that.
You tell me that kid, first of all,
I don't know. I don't know anything about the kid.
this kid, it's 4.5 hours to this university. He never went to this university. So he can plan, he can go up there, he can figure out where he can get a clear shot. Somehow he knows where Charlie's going to set up his tent. Somehow he knows where to get a good shot. Then he gets up there. And now Will tell me, 150 yards with 30-06, I could make that shot. Yeah, I believe you could. I also believe you spent 20 years honing your nerves as a Michigan State trooper. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't believe that. Okay, let's even give it all to him and say he did it all and he made the shot.
Okay.
I just don't believe after that 3 hours later he's at a Dairy Queen just acting like nothing happened, and they've got video of him at a Dairy Queen 3 or 4 hours later, and I don't believe he's got nerves of steel like that.
Where was the Dairy Queen?
Now you're getting into the weeds. I think that might have been back where he was from. I'm not
So you
positive. Or
think
maybe it was in between. No, it was in
Okay.
the same town as the shooting happened. So what did he do for 3 hours? There's so many strangenesses here.
Yeah.
The idea that he could take apart the gun, that he's running with this gun, all of it, none of it. I just don't buy any of it because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
I don't think he could do I don't think the kid would have the nerves, even if he was able to do it, which I
Mhm.
don't necessarily believe. I don't
Yeah.
believe he'd act anything like he did afterwards, having done that.
How do you
I don't think you can become that hard-hearted at 22.
how do you feel about the dad right, how do you feel about the dad having turned him in?
It's all weird to me. The whole
Okay,
thing is weird.
okay.
My dad just happened to see him on TV, and I just okay, all right. There's one story. That's our
I
first
know, well,
story
that's the
for
thing. We're talking about this like it's Game of Thrones, we're trying to figure it out. It sounds a little the Dairy Queen thing sounds a little weird. The distance sounds a little weird, especially if he had no ties to that place. Although, if he had some I don't know, was he a psycho? Like, the little bit that I've seen on him, he seems like a normal person.
yeah,
So, just trying to understand if
weird
he's
weirdnesses.
it's weird.
Um, I I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have I'll tell you this, I don't have a theory out there. Do I think Israel could have taken Charlie out? Maybe. Does it make some sense? I think this. First of all, Charlie was awfully pro-Israel almost his entire life. So
Yeah.
if that's all it takes to have Israel come after you, then I think
If he's been
why don't
pro
they do it more
yeah,
often?
if he's been pro-Israel almost his whole life,
That's what
then
I
I
thought.
I feel like that's not it. Who else could it be? And
Well, it could
is
be our
it
own government.
okay, is it our own government enlisting this 22-year-old?
That could be
Um,
part of it. What I first thought when I heard that story is I thought, well, now we have our Lee Harvey Oswald of the story. Do I think Lee Harvey Oswald was there and took a shot? Yeah. Do I think he killed Kennedy? No, I don't think he killed Kennedy. I think
right.
he was there and he took a shot. He was the
Yeah,
patsy,
he might have been a part of it. He might have been a part of it, but
but he
he
didn't kill
wasn't the only
Kennedy.
one.
CIA killed Kennedy.
Now there was okay, but there was only but in this case, in the Charlie Kirk shooting, there was just one shot, am I correct?
It could have been an Antifa. Well, no, there's definitely at least two shots. See, that's the other thing that's out there is
Okay, I don't know about this.
if you listen to the that's really the best way to find it is that people have gone
Okay.
through the audio and
Yeah.
they can watch the spikes and they're less than a second apart, maybe 1.7 seconds apart, but
And
you can hear
how
two
do you
separate
time that?
cracks.
But how do you time that?
Um, well, my guess would be that I don't know. I on the specifics, I don't know. My guess would
Mhm.
be that um if I had to guess, I'd say probably some rogue element in our own government. That
Mm,
doesn't mean I think Cash was behind it, or I think Bongino, or I think Trump knew, or any of that.
right.
Although
I can't
there's been other weirdnesses that have made me
oh,
think,
no.
what's going on with Trump was sure ready with that statement fast, which that's not abnormal for Trump. I can live with that. Um, for
Oh, yeah, I
Trump,
can
it
imagine
was
him
weird for Trump to come out and announce that he was dead, but Trump's different, so I can live with that.
I
You know?
yeah, anything weird that Trump does is can
Yeah,
be chalked
I
up to
can live with
just
that.
him being Trump. Plus, he does very often just come out and make
Right.
statements and
Right. And so that I agree with you. So whatever is on the Trump side, none of that rang any alarm bells for me. You know what I mean?
I'm
I
I'm concerned
I
to
think it would be a
hear
rogue element because we still have this deep we're nowhere near
yeah.
rooting out the deep state. So the idea that there would be deep state elements in the CIA that might want to take out Charlie, I'll tell you this. I think Charlie could have been. I do think this.
Mhm.
If Charlie turns on Israel,
Yeah.
and that would make sense. Megyn Kelly says that no one under 30 is pro-Israel right now. I don't know. What do you think? You got 2 kids under 30.
Um, well, the October 7th thing, we
My
have
kids
talked
are
a
not pro-Israel. My kids are 100% in the tank that Gaza is a genocide.
oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that.
Okay. Um, so yeah, I would have my daughters might listen to Candace and they would think Candace is probably right. I think. Now
Okay.
some of that might come from their mom. Some of that comes from me, obviously. I just don't go
Yeah,
quite as I don't know. But
right. We haven't talked
um
about it. We've talked about the sketchiness of October 7th.
certainly in the youth, that's a bigger thing. The youth
Yes.
is not as they're not as tied into the Israel narrative that
Mhm.
and I think for good reason. I think if that's true, if what Megyn Kelly said was true, good, because they're right, is what I think. Um, and that's not because I'm anti-Semitic. I just think, to me, the nation of Israel is every bit as corrupt as the nation of America. Or the government
Well,
is what I should
the
say. The
government, I was
government of
gonna
Israel, the
say,
government of
yes,
America.
exactly, the
They're
government of
equally
Israel.
corrupt.
Right. Well, it's just like us talking about Ukraine in the past. We have nothing against the Ukrainian people.
Of
It's the
course not.
Ukrainian leadership that's
Right.
really screwed up. So
So that would have been a blow. I mean, if Charlie Kirk, because he did have to be honest with you, he had more sway than I think even I realized. Um,
yeah,
Judging by the
right.
response.
But all the on college campuses, free Palestine stuff.
Yeah.
That didn't come from Charlie Kirk.
No, didn't.
So
He
I
would
don't
he would have
know.
been anti that.
Right. I don't think that he would have been the one swinging everyone that way. I think that was
Yeah.
happening just because I think our youth doesn't trust our government.
But as if he was, which it seems like to some extent
Mhm.
he was the right's biggest representation and kind of communication tunnel to the youth.
Yep.
Then if that seismic of a shift was occurring among the youth, it's not hard to believe that Charlie would have shifted with that, because he was young himself. I mean, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I'm
So
just surprised they wouldn't just try to,
they
pay him
talked about it
off.
some.
Why wouldn't they just try to pay him off? I mean, you kill someone this influential,
I'll
oh,
say
it's
this
like
about Charlie. I don't get the feeling you could pay Charlie off. Same thing I
you
felt
you
about Rush. I don't think you could pay him off. I
you
don't think you could
couldn't.
buy him.
You couldn't, but killing him there's got to be other ways. Just got to be other ways. You kill him and he's a martyr and now he's this instant saint overnight. Everyone's like,
Well,
it's
but a dead Charlie's a lot easier to manipulate and deal with than a live one who's out there. You know what I mean?
I
C.S. Lewis
guess.
talks about this in A Grief Observed, and you'll coming off your kind of season of grief, you'll
Yeah.
appreciate this. But he talks about how the second that his wife died, or as soon as she dies, he
Yeah.
starts building up images of his wife, and he says the most dangerous thing you can do is try to say, well, H would have done this or H would have wanted this. And all of a sudden, she's a weapon in my hands. And he
Uh-huh.
said, it wouldn't take 1 minute of her being back, would blow all of that to smithereens, would blow all these idols I've built up of her to smithereens. But I don't get that. And so I have to fight that in my own mind of building up, making a person that I can
Interesting.
use versus
Yeah.
trying to get back to who this person actually was. And that's universal. That's not just Charlie. That's 100% across the
That is
board.
universal.
You know what I mean? To to
Oh
to want
yeah.
to take that, and it's not only manipulation,
Very
because
natural.
it happens in our own mind. Like
Mhm.
like when I say to you, well, mom would have wanted this,
Mhm.
I probably think that. I probably believe that. I've probably built
Yes.
up this image of her to where she would think that. But her 100% reality would just blow all that away. You know what I mean? Because people
Right.
aren't that easily boxed. We talk about God isn't boxed up. People aren't boxed up like that.
Yeah.
Charlie
I
was
mean,
not
if
easily
you're talking
placed
about
in
yeah,
boxes, but
right.
now he is. Dead, he's way more malleable as a weapon of war than he was alive. Now, I don't think he's more effective. That isn't my point. I'm only
I
saying
understand.
to certain elements.
From his opposition's, point
Either
of view.
opposition or other elements within the same side. I mean, look at World War II. It's not like Eisenhower was the only general. I mean, you had disagreements between Eisenhower and Patton,
Mhm.
between Roosevelt, all these different things. You have pushes and pulls and everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so as long as Charlie's here, he's part of that. But
Mhm.
as soon as he's not, then all you have is, luckily with him you have a lot of videos. So I mean you do have that.
Yep.
But yeah, it did make me wonder when they made Erica CEO that quick. There's been some things. You know what? You got to go now. Let's
Um,
pause. We'll come
are
back
we
and we'll finish a half
yeah.
hour of
Are
this
we
when we
able to
do
pause?
beers. Yeah,
Okay. I
we'll
have
come
someone
back.
stopping
I
by to
just
pick
want you
something
to
up.
to watch that video and we'll talk about it a little bit, because as a grieving widow in the last 6 months, I would like your opinion on it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's all.
Yeah.
And if it
That's
seems normal, then I'll be like, okay.
well,
You
again,
know what I mean?
it's so subjective and I was gonna say, I'll say this. It's having, yeah, just gone through gone through funeral and I'm on widows, like, groups on
Right.
Facebook and stuff like that, and I hear people describing how friends are reacting, how families reacting, and all that, and it's just like, man, when it comes to loss like that, when it comes to death of a loved one, I mean, anything goes. It's
Yeah.
like and everyone's different, but
Well, then when you watch this video, if that's the case with all your background on it, you might be like, "Oh, no, that seems fine." And if that's the case, then I'll default to you on it. And
yeah,
perhaps my spidey senses were overactive. You know what I mean?
yeah. So,
I
okay, we're
hope
able to
that's the
pause?
case.
Right, I hope so too. Are
Yeah,
we able to
let's pause
pause?
and we'll come back.
Cool. Okay.
All right, we'll be back. We're back. Hey,
We're
Carrie,
back. Hello.
we're back. You saw the video that I wanted you to see about Erica Kirk.
Yes, I
What'd you
did.
think? Was it weird or am I crazy?
So
Everybody can
which
do things there.
which which one are we addressing?
Mainly the casket one is what I thought was the weirdest.
So the casket one is super weird.
I mean, is that normal? Is that just widows being widows?
I'm gonna say it's really odd to me that she's well, I think it's odd that she's recording a photo. I can imagine someone capturing a photo of her
Sure.
draped over him
I could
and
see
then
that.
sharing it with her and her saying, "Yeah, I want to put that out there. I
I
want the
thought
world to
that
know."
too. I thought that about the when I just saw the photo. I mean,
Yep.
it was might have been a little whatever, but like I'm
It's
not playing the video
right.
because I thought it was inappropriate and uncomfortable. I didn't understand.
Yeah. So the video, if no one's seen it, it's someone holding a video really close. She's over his hands, like her face and her hands. And it's someone holding a video. It's got to be a camera right
Yeah,
in almost in her face and videoing her whispering, "I love you." And she's kissing his hands and she's like, "I love you. God bless you." All this stuff. And it's like, I don't know. Could she legit? I have a couple of things. Could she
floor
legitimately,
is yours.
thank you. Could she
Of
legitimately be there whispering, mourning over her husband's body and saying all those things? Yes.
course.
Would she want someone recording that? Especially, like, within inches of her, people, like, within inches of her. It's so odd.
And then put it out?
And then put it out. It's very weird. It's very personal. It's like and it also just seems odd. Okay. The other thing I want to address is, okay, they don't show his face, just
No.
fine. It's an open casket, but they don't show his face. And right away, you said something about his hands not looking real. In the first video, I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "The hands, I'm sorry, an embalmed person doesn't look like a regular person."
Understood.
The body, someone's like, "Oh, that, like, seems flat," whatever,
You're
but
talking to the 9-year-old Todd who lifted up my dead brother's eyelid and saw the mush that it turned into after he died. And everybody was like, "Oh my god."
wait, in the casket?
Yes.
You opened his eyelid?
It's like, "What's going on in there, buddy?"
What happened? Was there, like, nothing in there?
It's gonna mush.
Oh god, like an eye? Or like
Maybe what was
oh,
left of an eye.
dude, I thought they kinda well, I thought they kind of fastened that shut. I don't mean to get morbid and
Listen, I
technical, but I
my
thought they kind of
memories are not very reliable at that time at 9
whoa,
years old, that's what I remember.
I'm pretty
And the great
blown.
thing is I don't have anybody left alive to check me on it, so it's my
Okay.
story.
It's my story. I lifted up my brother in the casket.
Weird,
Holy
right? So,
crap.
yeah, that was weird. Everybody freaked the hell out too. They
Well, I
got me
bet
right out of there.
but I'm sorry, but I can understand a 9-year-old, and you know what? I'm sorry, kids are intuitive, and you probably knew in that moment, this isn't, like, really him anymore. Like,
Right.
you can kind of feel it's not him. So,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Okay. The
Sorry.
body after the embalming process, I know looks different. I've seen enough
Right, sure.
open caskets to know it looks like the person. They do their best,
Mhm.
but it doesn't look like the person.
Right.
But that whole chest, it's like there's nothing there. It looks like a mannequin.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
The hands were weird.
the hands are weird. The left hand that is away from her looks a little more real, but the one that's closer, his right hand, doesn't even look
Looks
it
like a
really
fake plastic hand,
it
doesn't it?
really looks like a fake plastic hand. It looks like one that you get at one of those Halloween spirit stores
I know.
and put at your, buffet at a Halloween party. It's really weird looking. Gosh, I
That's
don't know.
why I looked at it and I felt like, I had these things at first. I don't know anything about Eric of Kirk. I never
Nope,
heard of her
nope,
prior to this, or if I
same.
did, I never paid any attention.
All I heard was him talking about her, and I saw, like, their
Yeah.
wedding photos,
She's
there.
Miss Arizona. She's older than him. She's, 6 years older.
Okay.
Probably means nothing, just interesting. Um,
Mhm.
but I so I didn't have any preconceived anything about Erica Kirk walking into this. I
Mhm.
just didn't. I didn't. It just
Wow, what a first impression you're
had
having.
never entered my consciousness. You know what I mean? So what I'm watching of Erica Kirk is what I've seen post the assassination. That's
Mhm.
all I really know of her, have seen, and even that isn't very much. It's just a few little things. Struck me a little weird, struck me weird when she had her big statement that she did that was like 12 minutes long. Um,
Yeah, I watched most of that.
the thing that stuck with me there that I thought was I didn't think it was weird. I thought this is a natural inclination in somebody when she was like, "No one's ever gonna forget his name." I thought, "Yeah, that's not a good impulse, and it's probably not the way that you wanna live from there on out, but I can understand having that impulse right then." I'd like to think speechwriters in that big of a speech would get rid of that, but they didn't. So, it's just I had a little bit of that. My mom I look back at my mom's eulogy. I almost wish I hadn't done eulogies at either of my parents' funerals. I did them at
Oh.
both. The only one I really liked was Floyd's.
Oh my
Felt
gosh.
like I hit
Your eulogy at
eulogy
Floyd's
peak
was
at
it
Floyd's.
was so good. It really was good. Why do you look back
I
at your
felt
mom's
like
and
I
feel
was
that
that way.
way?
Well, I remember when my mom died being that way. Reese was my only child born, and she was
Mhm.
maybe a year old.
Okay.
And I remember how important it was to me that they'll always remember my mom. They'll somehow know my mom. I'll make sure she'll be part of their life.
Of
And
course.
and that's all a fine impulse. And I don't think if you let that impulse rule your life going forward,
Mhm.
it's screwed up.
Yeah,
How
but I
about
think it's
that?
appropriate in the moment
Okay, maybe
as it
maybe
was
appropriate in the moment.
appropriate for you, it's appropriate for you in the moment being a newish dad to be
Sure.
like, "You're losing I'm sorry, your mom's one of the most important I mean, if not the most important person in your life growing up." Yeah, makes sense. You want your kids to I mean,
Yeah.
I say it to my sons. I'm like, "Man, I wish you knew my grandpa."
Right.
And my all my kids,
Taken
I'm
to
like,
its
"Wish you knew."
logical extreme, that becomes the room that's never changed because you know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying?
Sure, yeah.
It's the
We're not
same
talking about
impulse, it's just taken to a worse degree.
okay.
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
it's completely appropriate to say
Sure.
no one's but
So that one I
okay.
didn't wasn't
What
much. Then I saw
what
the casket video and then the
but what about the rest of her speech with, like, the periodic again, gosh, I really don't wanna judge a woman who's just here's my question.
that's why I'm letting you do it.
How soon after okay, I'm you know what? I'm gonna be the
Carrie is our
villain.
dedicated Todd's World widow this year.
I'm gonna be the
We'll get a
villain. Yeah,
different one
really.
next year.
Okay, good. I'm like, only want that title for a short time. Um, how long after he died did she record this? Was it, like, a couple of days?
Within a day.
Because she said in the speech, "I can't remember the last time I've slept." And I'm
Yeah.
like, this like, what do you
This
mean?
video I
Like,
think was before her speech.
this just happened. Hmm?
Right. I thought the video was before her speech, but I'm not positive. It's
Okay.
it's hard to keep the timelines perfect.
Okay, gotcha.
You
Well,
know
the
what I
speech
mean?
was just super, whatever. She said, yeah, she was making turning point, mission to
Mhm.
kinda continue his mission. But when she had these periodic breakdowns where she'd cry and whisper something, like, kind of emphasize something by whispering and crying, um I just again, it's just felt very odd, and I don't know if she was trying to make it an emotional speech. Maybe she's in shock, and she knows that it's supposed to be emotional, was trying to make it emotional.
Do you see why I feel like a lot of this feels and I'm not saying it is, but it feels a little contrived and a little scripted.
Her presentation feels very scripted, and, again, maybe someone wrote it for her and said
Maybe.
maybe she sat down with someone and they said, "This will we're helping you out, Chat GPT, whatever."
Yeah.
Um, maybe she's in shock and couldn't really be genuinely I mean, who wants to? I
Right.
wouldn't want to, and they're pretty private too, that's the thing. His personal life's been pretty private, so maybe she's n
It's an odd way to have it go public all of a sudden.
yes, and I don't know, so
Maybe there's
but
missteps along the way.
there could be, but I will agree with you, sadly, I'll wrap my head in tinfoil right now and say her whole that speech was very uncomfortable and not because she's a grieving widow, it was very
Right.
odd, so
I felt like that too. I just didn't feel she hasn't come up and this is this is in contrast to, I would say, the exact opposite of Charlie's entire life. Charlie never really came
Yeah.
off anything but authentic to me.
Right.
And
In
so
every forum.
and so to have her, to have these Turning Point board members, to have this entire thing come off a little non-authentic, I don't know if that's the right word.
Inauthentic.
It's just been a little, I don't know, it's just it's strange is the best way to, um,
Mhm.
it's you get some cognitive dissonance out of it. Does that
Yes.
make sense?
Yes. I don't know that it seems suspicious as much as
I
it
don't either.
seems, strange, like you said, strange. Okay, one more thing on the body.
Mhm.
Can you think of I mean, we're in our Game of Thrones, let's talk about the story, what makes sense
Mhm.
here. Can you think of any reason why they would have shown this and whatever with an artificial body? Because I don't think that's the real body, and I don't know why they would have bothered with it if it
I I
wasn't.
I think the same thing, but I think, like, I've had people say, "Do you think he's really alive?" And I couldn't come up with any reason why that would make any sense at all. But
Okay.
I mean,
Sure, I mean,
I
that
can
crosses my
understand why
mind, but
people would have that thought. I just think, to what end?
uh-huh.
I mean, I just can't come up with an end
Right,
that would make any sense
is he
that
trying to
Charlie would.
escape?
I can't fathom it.
Oh!
I
Oh, you
can't.
just reminded me, speaking of authenticity, there were 2 moments in her presentation that I thought felt very authentic, completely authentic, I should say, and that was when she spoke of JD Vance and when she spoke of Trump and his friendship with him.
Yeah, I agree.
Those
Yeah,
felt very real, and that
and I think
I
they were. I don't.
I think so too, but the rest why is the rest so weird?
And it's not that I don't think she's sad or grieving. I 100%
Oh, yeah.
understand that. I
Yeah,
don't think she
her
was behind his killing. It isn't that.
right,
I just think it's weird, and I I can't process it. It's like the body thing. I can't imagine why there wouldn't have been a real body.
right.
I can't
Or
imagine what the idea would have been. Like,
or maybe the more important question is why are you trying to show this?
yeah.
Because you
And
didn't
then
need to do that.
you don't show the head.
No, if you're not showing him, then why are you showing anything? You could
Yeah.
show her going into the church where the funeral is gonna be, or you can show her outside with the casket or whatever, but why all this video and the whispering and the
God, I can't imagine. I've
so
lost a lot of
bizarre.
people. I've lost
Yeah,
a lot of people, and I cannot imagine. I've never lost a spouse, so that's different. But I can't come up with a way in which it makes sense that I would ever want private moments like that
mm-mm,
broadcast to the world.
absolutely not.
You know, I and it's
Unless
not.
she has people advising her saying, "Listen, we need to show as much as we can because he's important, and this is gonna be important for people." Unless she's
I know.
being
I
kinda
guess
manipulated
she
that
could
way or
be,
something.
and that's a possibility. I
Yeah.
mean, that would fold in with the making her CEO all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And if we see a sudden, I will say this: if we see a sudden turning of turning
Of
point,
turning point.
if we
Well
see,
said.
if we see a
I see
sudden
what you did
turning
there.
where they don't have Tucker Carlson on and they become rabidly pro-Israel, well, that'll make us wonder. That might add a
Or
little
make
context to the situation.
it will absolutely make us wonder. I agree.
I did find
Yeah.
a good video.
Okay.
Um, this is I just had it. What happened?
It'll come.
Um, I want to play Charlie Kirk talking about South Park, and this is
Oh,
only
yes.
because it's so much. And Kirsty Noem was pretty good at this too. She made her South Park character her profile pic. Like this is how people should deal. You should be able to laugh at yourself. You should be able to not
Absolutely.
take yourself all that seriously.
Yeah.
And it was so impressive. So South Park had an episode and they had Charlie Kirk was one of the characters and Kirsty Noem was. And Charlie Kirk's thing was his big head and his water bottles and his meh, 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 he was a
Yeah.
master debater. And then Kirsty Noem's was
Master debater.
like her face kept
Oh, that's
melting.
right. Her face kept falling off, and they had to keep coming and, like, injecting her and
Anyway,
stuff. It was
it
hysterical.
was
She's
kinda hard
shooting every
hitting,
dog in sight.
but I just thought this is how the left needs everybody. This is how people need to do. You need to be able to laugh at yourself. And so this is Charlie talking about that episode right after it came out, and I thought he was so great in how he handled it.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody, the South Park episode just dropped. And honestly, It is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious. Just watch this little snippet of our Prove Me Wrongs, our viral cultural domination on prime time on Comedy Central. So important, so impactful that South Park is highlighting. Watch.
I'm sick of people stealing my stick. If anyone around here is going to be a master debater, it's me. So let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater? Let's go. You right there.
That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
You are wrong. Leviticus 3:17 says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your realms. So you can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortions.
Not only that, but Jeremiah 1:5, I made you in the womb. South Park gets this right. In fact, I think they've been watching a lot of Charlie Kirk videos. Watch.
That's hilarious.
What makes you think you have the right to say what I do with my body?
Let me ask you something. If a pregnant woman is killed and the baby dies too, why is the killer charged with a double homicide?
Well, because people
This
have
water.
different beliefs. And
It's not about belief. It's about truth. Science confirms life begins at conception. So yes, Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. But it's just morality that demands we protect the most vulnerable.
And we got our own award show as part of South Park. I was told going in, Charlie, if they say your name, that's a big win. Well, apparently there's the Charlie Kirk Awards.
Hello and welcome to the 3rd annual Charlie Kirk Award for Young Master Debaters.
Young master debaters.
Today are learning to fight for America through master debation. We're here to honor the recent efforts of a brave young man who has been furiously master debating for the past several days.
Now, there's going to be a lot said about this, but we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win. We as conservatives, we have thick skin, not thin skin. And you can make fun of us. It doesn't matter. And until next time, I hope all of you also become master debaters. The truth.
It's so funny.
Wasn't that great? Isn't that
It was,
like that? Does
it
just
was, it was so great.
the master class on how to handle that. I
Yeah.
thought.
He laughed about the throat lozenges in the water and the mic setting the microphone down. It was hysterical.
I
Yeah,
thought
it
it
was
was
really,
great.
really funny. It was very funny. So
So,
good for him.
Well, there are a lot of weirdnesses surrounding it. We'll see where
Yeah.
life goes. But when
Mhm.
you lean into actually who Charlie was, I think that's when you're getting the best.
Yeah.
In other words, let's not at this early stage try to force an analysis on what is Charlie Kirk going to mean for the future, or what weapon can he
Mhm.
be, or what's turning point going to be, or anything else. Part of me wants to just let him be him and let him
Yeah.
have accomplished what he accomplished and lived the life that he lived, and be able to just kind of celebrate that, not instantly look toward the next battle. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not even asking for that much, maybe a couple weeks. I'm not asking for all that much. I
Right.
don't feel like.
Right.
I think, that scripture where it says, "Be still and know that I am God."
Mhm.
We are not in our culture very good at being still. So that
Oh,
means even
no.
when
Not
somebody's
now.
killed, even when something like this
Hard.
happens, we don't pull back. We don't be still for a little while and see what, be alone with our memories of the person, or do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That there's no place for that in our world, I don't think.
No, like you said, you have to be really intentional about it. It's you have to shut everything off, and you have to almost physically, like literally physically sit still to do it. It's tough to do.
And
'Cause I mean, we're being bombarded.
as I was thinking about that, I thought, I wonder if it's impossible to know God without being still. And what does that say about our society? I don't know. I those that's just
Ooh,
something that, you know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I hear
if we
you.
have to be still to know that he's God, is it possible in the flurry of activity,
Mhm.
or do we just miss something about God that we can't know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, you go to a church where there's worship music
Right.
for a bit, and
We have an
they
active Sunday show.
yeah, everyone, like, dancing and singing
It's
for
all
30
very
minutes, right?
approved curriculum.
But, that's true. It's approved. The music list is approved.
No, not
But I think
approved
those
curriculum
but I
sneaking
think
in.
when people are worshiping like that, I feel like that is that is being close to God. But
it's a moment of being still, kind of, in a way,
yeah, you're
pausing a
just
little
kind
bit.
of it's just not necessarily quiet.
Yeah.
But I think but yeah, I think dated in our daily lives, um when we're driving where we're going and thinking about the to-do list and thinking about, paint sprayers, or I'm thinking about scheduling meetings at
Right.
work, obviously our brains, maybe like your brain being still, but I think it's hard for our brains to be still.
That was part of what I appreciated about the fact that and again, we didn't plan it, or I should say
Yeah.
we did plan it. We had a planned week off last week, and part of what
Yeah.
I appreciated the extra time to just watch and think
Yeah.
and
I feel that.
now I haven't gotten any further. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I don't know why they're all so obsessive with lying to us. I just don't
Right.
know.
Why is it? You know what? Can we ask our listeners, can you guys share with us why everyone feels the need to lie to us?
I don't know,
Just
but they do.
it's the first thing they do.
It's like it's like just a knee jerk.
Ah,
Whatever happened, don't tell them the truth.
no,
Make
it's
up a
ridiculous.
story.
It's
Make sure
ridiculous.
it's bad. Make sure nobody with any kind of 4 brain cells rubbing together would ever believe the story that we come up with, so that there can
Oh.
be constant chaos. I feel like that's what it is.
Well, you know what? You said it once a long time ago about them sowing chaos.
They just want distractions what they're after, I think, by and large, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They wanna keep us focused on other things. They don't wanna keep us focused on our neighbor next door and how they
Mhm.
may disagree politically, but, actually, we're not all that different, surprisingly, when we get together and have a couple beers. And so
Right.
perhaps the things that divide us aren't now I understand they're shooting at us. I understand.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I
that's a
get that that's a
problem.
different thing.
That's a problem.
But I
Wow.
don't know. But I was actually, as much as all of that bothered me, and it did bother me, there's lots of parts of all of it. And it wasn't anything to do with Charlie, it had everything to do with other people and the comments or the reactions or this kind of general overall whatever this social media age has become,
Yeah.
whatever grieving has become in a social media age.
Yeah.
I like if it's taking pictures of your food, is that what you know what I mean? Is that what maybe it is? And
Yeah.
maybe a lot of what I'm seeing is nothing more than that. I don't know. All I know is that we'll keep a sharp eye on things as they come and
Mhm.
as they go. I have tons of clips we didn't get to, but that's okay. We'll get to them. We got plenty of time. So but there's weird things out there. We'll keep a sharp eye on them, but
Yeah.
we're also going to always remember, hey, Charlie, that was an awfully well lived life. I keep thinking that. And if the people who loved and respected Charlie, the kids, if what they take of that is, hey, let's go live well.
Mhm.
I don't know that Charlie could ask for much more. You know what
And
I
you know
mean?
what? And you know what? When he saw, this is another cool thing about him. He was living his life well, and when he saw people who were not, he hoped for them.
Yeah.
He didn't judge them or condemn them. I mean, I've heard him with, young, like, hussy girls, interviewing these, like, girls who are into just one night stands and whatever, not really caring about
Right.
their spirits in a higher way. And he would say, I hope for you. I
Yeah.
hope that that your heart turns.
And
And
I
I hope
pray
that
for you or whatever. Yeah.
I pray for you. And I hope that you have a family one day. I believe that you'll be happy that way. And,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. He was really hopeful for people to live that good life that he felt he'd been blessed with. So yeah.
Well, and it also occurred right on the heels of me trying to decide to take beers with Jesus to a college campus. And I thought, well, now I'm going to get shot.
Oh, don't do
No,
it.
I'm just kidding.
Only by those who are enforcing the approved curriculum.
But the difference is I loved what Charlie did. I feel like it needs to be pulled back even further, which is why we do beers with Jesus like we do,
Mhm,
which is I think people just need the story. They need to reckon with the story of Jesus.
mhm,
If we can just introduce people to Jesus,
mhm.
I think the culture stuff will take care of itself down the road. Not
True.
sure that we have to kill all the trannies. I don't like that
That
might
is
not
not
be
what
the
he was
best
trying
way
to
to
do.
do it. No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
talking about Charlie. I meant
yeah.
all the people who are like, you know what
Right,
I mean?
yes,
I'm not talking about
yes.
Charlie at all.
The solution I see what you're saying. Yeah, the
I
solution
don't
is just knowing, like,
I'm not sure
getting
that
to
the
know Jesus.
solution is gonna be found. Listen, we got to deal with things when it comes to Caesar stuff. I get that. And I'm 100% on board with it. And I'm
Mhm,
100% on board with the fact that God and Christianity gives us the best ways to deal with Caesar stuff.
mhm.
Okay? I'm
Yep,
100% on board with that.
yeah,
But I also think none of this Caesar can't fix any of it. All they can do is try to keep things, as peaceable as possible.
right.
The only person, and this is where I think Charlie was right, the only person that can fix it is Christ. And
Yeah,
you gotta know him. You gotta know the story. Like, let's
yeah.
just look at that. And
Right.
let's not get caught up in abortion. Let's not get caught up in homosexuality. Let's step
Mhm,
back further than all of that.
yeah.
And let's just talk about the story and talk about that. And then, because I got a feeling Jesus will have a way to take care of all of that.
True, I mean, if you get your heart and your spirit right,
Yeah.
all those things are pretty clear.
Jesus, as they're getting ready to haul him away to crucify him, told Peter to put down his sword. And that I know of anywhere in the Bible or anywhere we've run into an act so far, he never told him to pick it back up. I think that bears some remembrance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
But
fair.
we got to find a way to make those two fit together. We got to find a way to save Western civilization
Mhm,
and not have a holy war. I
right.
think. You know what I mean?
Well, yep, and I think we can do that.
I agree. So, but I think it starts with the story of Jesus. So that's just me.
So
Pretty basic kind of guy.
tune
Yeah.
in tomorrow to Beers with Jesus.
Here's with Jesus tomorrow. We're on
Yeah.
X13, maybe. I've actually read it and prepared for it, and I've been so
Ooh.
Charlie Kirk this morning that if can't even remember what's the story. Oh, Paul and Barnabas go off kind of on their first kind of missionary journey. It's kind of
Oh,
interesting.
cool.
So yeah. Tomorrow, guys, Beers with Jesus. Check out toddsworld.net.
Mhm.
Subscribe if you haven't. Leave us a 5-star review.
Yes, please. Share with your friends.
Comment if you want to comment on Spotify, or I don't know if you can comment on Apple or not. Probably can on YouTube and stuff. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's good to have Carrie
It's good to be back.
back from the desert heat, and we will be back next week. And I'm sure that there'll be more going on somehow.
I know, I was gonna say, yeah, this is all we're talking about today, right? We're
Yeah.
not talking about the
I
kids,
just don't think we have time.
missing migrant kids who were found, or the McDonald's and the Make America Healthy Again movement.
No,
We're
we got
gonna
to hit all that next week. We need to have
Alright.
a we done Charlie
Teaser.
we done our Charlie week. People
Yeah.
at least know where Todd's World stands on
I
Charlie.
know. Todd got some word, like, "Why are they being so quiet about Charlie Kirk?" It's like, "We weren't making a statement, we
No,
just took a week off." But,
no.
yeah, we took a week off and we were still for a little while.
Yeah, we just kind of let it play out. You know,
Mm,
Charlie deserved the time he got. He deserved more than the time he got. He deserved people not picking him up like a weapon the second he went down,
yeah.
in my humble opinion. But
Well,
listen,
it was hard for me to hold it together a couple of times during this conversation today. A week ago, I can't even I wouldn't
yeah.
even have been able to talk about it. So,
So it'll get better.
Todd just waited so that I wouldn't be a blubbering mess during the show.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will catch you tomorrow with Beers with
And
Jesus and the
and rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
next Tuesday. Yes. Thank you for all you did. Now you get to watch from the stands as we carry on.
Right?
So
Mm,
pretty good stuff.
all right. Todd, have a great week.
You too, Carrie.
See you soon.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Technical issues notwithstanding.
I know. We're gonna figure it out.
We are going to get these videos up so you guys can watch them
We
somehow.
are professionals.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.